Tesla CEO Elon Musk met with Apple's head of mergers and acquisitions early last year. The paper says the meeting doesn't necessarily indicate that Apple is about to buy Tesla anytime soon, but that it does point to Apple's strong interest in getting involved in new product areas.
Did you ever talk to Steve about building a car?
Yes.
What did he
We
say?
did.
What did you talk about?
Oh, we had a couple of walks, and this was in 2008, about if we were to build a car, what would we build? And we were just, just crazy, like looking at, oh, what would a dashboard be? And what would this be? What would seats be? How would you fuel it or power it?
So it's not like, somebody comes up with a car and they're suddenly like, they kill everyone else. It's not that way. I think it's great that they're doing this, and I hope it works out.
We're focusing on, or what we've talked about focusing on publicly, is we're focusing on autonomous systems. And clearly one purpose of autonomous systems is self-driving cars. There are others.
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. In this video, we're talking about Apple's electric car, aka Project Titan. Now at this stage, there's lots of rumors, not very much crystal clear information, but in this video, I'm going to share some clips, add a few comments where I think it's relevant, and try to ascertain, 1, is Apple actually developing an electric vehicle and or autonomous driving software, and 2, are they a potential threat to Tesla or not? So let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you're in the US and you'd like 3 free stocks, yes, 1, 2, 3 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. Open a new account and fund it with $100 and you'll get 3 free stocks, 2 of them valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk met with Apple's head of mergers and acquisitions early last year. The paper says the meeting doesn't necessarily indicate that Apple is about to buy Tesla anytime soon, but that it does point to Apple's strong interest in getting involved in new product areas. And I guess, guys, at a market cap of $24 billion for Tesla, Apple could buy it if it so wished, with obviously Elon Musk's agreement.
With the change in their couch cushions, they could buy it. But would they, right?
I mean, this is one of those that's fun to talk about. I don't know how realistic it is. I mean, the reports are that, yes, they met. It is
a long time ago, in spring of last year.
So we know as early as 2008, Apple were discussing the idea of making a vehicle. By 2013, an Apple and Tesla meeting had taken place, and at that point in time, Tesla's market cap was around $25 billion. Today, around $400 billion. Just imagine, just wonder, what if Apple had acquired Tesla at that point in time? Maybe for a huge multiple, double, triple, even 4 times their market cap still would have been an absolute bargain with the benefit of hindsight. Of course, we all know there's no way in hell Tesla would have sold to Apple unless they were incredibly desperate, but it's a fun little thought experiment, isn't it?
And also, I mean, think about the last deals that Apple's done. They've been sort of mini deals. Apple has not done a more than $1 billion deal, unlike its competitors, Google and Microsoft, which has gone after. Also, can you imagine Steve Jobs, Elon Musk sort of sharing the spotlight? It seems so not like Apple.
Plus, I have a feeling if Apple were to talk about this, which they probably will not, they would say, do you guys have any idea how many meetings we have in the course of a given week with an unknown number of players? I'm sure this is sort of just par for the course in the Valley.
But we do know that the automotive sector is hot for these guys. A lot of them want to be the operating system for the car. Did you see 60 Minutes on Sunday night? They were looking at the F-35, and they're basically describing it as a flying computer. You have a helmet on, you can see all the way around. You can visually look as the pilot all the way around. Well, presumably, the automotive sector is going to go somewhere like that it is basically a mobile computer.
Credit where it's due here, although it was obvious to many people who really understood what was going on, to hear somebody in the mainstream finance media describing these things as computers on wheels 6 years ago, impressive.
Would Apple want to be part of that? Well, it certainly would like a partnership, I'm sure.
Now let's fast forward 2 years to 2016 to hear Elon Musk discussing his thoughts on Apple's potential entrance into the electric vehicle market.
What Google is doing. How do you assess what they're doing when you're looking at it? Because there'll be competitors at some point. These are all eventual competitors.
Well, I think what Google's done a great job of showing the potential of autonomous transport.
Right.
But they're not a car company, so they would potentially license their technology to other car companies. And I think they announced something with Fiat. And so I wouldn't say Google's a competitor because they're not a car company. We would compete with somebody perhaps that they license technology to, but not to them directly.
Right.
Apple?
Yeah, that'll be more direct.
That'll be more direct?
Yeah.
Anyone get the feeling that Elon Musk had very specific knowledge about what Apple actually intends to do, given the fact that he seems to be under the impression that they would be competing very directly with Tesla? By the way, guys, going off the deep end here, but I've seen every single public interview Elon Musk has ever done. And I've noticed he seems to have a little bit of a tell. When he knows something or he's understating something enormously, there's this thing with his lips. Just watch this.
Yeah, that'll be more direct.
Call me crazy, but I swear this is a tell that Elon Musk knows more than he's saying.
You can tell that by the hiring pattern and that
absolutely.
kind of stuff?
Just to add a little context, at this point in time, it was publicly known that Apple was aggressively hiring Tesla employees specifically to work on the Apple car project.
So what do you... Okay, so they're going to be
Given
more
they've hired a lot
direct.
of
How do you
Tesla
assess it?
I mean, I say I think it's great that they're doing this, and I hope it works out.
What's the time frame for them, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think they should have embarked upon this project sooner, actually.
Just remember, this clip is from 4 years ago, and the initial meeting between Tesla and Apple 7 years ago, and Elon was already saying that they were behind the 8 ball at that point in time. They should have started sooner.
I don't know when they don't share with me the details of their production plans, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they'll be in volume production sooner than maybe 2020. That'd be like the soonest.
And is that too late? When you say they should have embarked sooner, is that because 2020 will be too late to stop you or beat you or compete with you or what?
No, it's just like it's a missed opportunity.
Oh, Elon, you filthy sandbagging motherfucker. Here we are looking at the Tesla Motors Company overview, summer 2011. Let me scroll. I do have a point. So there's a statement in this particular document right here. Leadership in EV technology. Second place should need a telescope to see us. Elon Musk, 2011. Well, guess what, Elon? Mission accomplished. In fact, most of your competition are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the long-delayed James Webb Space Telescope to finally come online so they can catch a glimpse of how far behind they are. Because at this point in time, not even the world's most powerful telescopes can actually see Tesla from second place.
It's just like it's a missed opportunity. It's just
It'll be over by 2020?
No, it's not. It's just like it's a couple of years. I think they'll probably make a good car and probably be successful. The car industry is very big, so it's not as though there's one company to the exclusion of others. I mean, there's like a dozen car companies in the world of significance. So, and the most that any company has is approximately 10% market share. So it's not like somebody comes up with a car and they're suddenly like they kill everyone else. It's not that way.
Elon, sandbagging once again. We all know Tesla did come along and has systematically destroyed and eviscerated the entire legacy automotive industry. Now, most of these companies are still alive, but they're slowly bleeding to death. It's only a matter of time before they're out of business, and the company that killed them all is going to be Tesla. Elon Musk is understating enormously here, even in terms of production volumes, talking about vehicles and no automaker having more than a 10% market share. Elon has since discussed Tesla reaching 20 million vehicles per year, over 20% of the global automotive market. Sandbagging motherfucker.
And the sheer scale of automotive manufacturing is just, it's hard to appreciate until you see the plants. I mean, they're gigantic.
Yeah,
like the industrial,
I have seen the plants.
Yeah, I mean, the sheer size of the industrial infrastructure is staggering.
Not just the assembly plant, but everything else that goes.
Yeah, the supply chain, exactly. The assembly plant is just a little tip of the
plant.
iceberg, really.
Yeah,
The assembly plant is literally the tip of the iceberg.
Phenomenal.
The supply chain is, once you go to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 suppliers, that's probably an order of magnitude more than the final assembly.
So you think Google will not be a competitor? Apple probably will be a direct competitor.
Yeah, sure.
What about the car companies?
I think they'll all be competitors, yeah, sure.
Who do you see out there that has done a nice job so far? Mercedes or
GM
Of what?
of a competitive car?
of the incumbents.
A potentially competitive car, I guess.
Elon Musk's internal dialogue is like, shit, they're not asking this question, are they? Fuck. Do I answer honestly and face all the headlines tomorrow after me explaining that legacy automakers have put nothing forward but absolute horseshit attempting to compete? Or do I say something a little bit more delicate and politically correct and avoid all of the headlines?
A potentially competitive car, I guess.
I mean, I don't think any of the car companies thus far have made a really great electric car. I mean, you tell me if you disagree, but I don't think yet that any of them have made a great electric car.
Okay.
They, presumably will continue to improve on what they've done so far, and then at some point they may make a car that's
Not trash.
that's a great car, but no, they haven't done that yet.
Now, before we move on to some comments from Apple CEO Tim Cook discussing the latest on Apple's autonomous vehicle/electric vehicle program, I just want to share a few thoughts. It seems to me, now this is pure speculation, so please take it with a grain of salt, but it seems to me that over time, Apple's electric vehicle project has evolved from initially Apple wanting to make the hardware and the software, now to Apple having pivoted more towards the software component. After all, we know Apple has some masterful software engineers. Software is a huge component of Apple's business. This is where their true expertise lies.
You've said cars are an area ripe for disruption. How important is it that Apple not miss out on cars?
I think there is a major disruption looming there, not only for self-driving cars, but also the electrification piece. If you've driven an all-electric car, it's actually a marvelous experience. And it's a marvelous experience not to stop at the filling station or gas station, whatever you want to call it. And so, plus you have ride sharing on top of this, right? And so you've got kind of three vectors of change happening generally in the same time frame. And so as we look at it in what we're focusing on, or what we've talked about focusing on publicly, is we're focusing on autonomous systems.
Very interesting word selection there from Tim. Let's listen again.
We're focusing on, or what we've talked about focusing on publicly, is we're focusing on autonomous systems.
What we've talked about focusing on publicly, that seems to imply that either Apple has other additional plans they're not discussing publicly, or maybe they are giving it all away and Tim just wants to maintain an air of mystery. But my hunch is that Apple initially planned to make the hardware and the software years and years and years of effort, research and development, and they've realized, you know what, this is really fucking hard. How about we just stick to software? How about we acquire some self-driving startups? How about we attempt to solve autonomous vehicles rather than the hardware component? Maybe we can partner with somebody and figure something out in the future. But for now, our effort is best spent solely on autonomous software. Although Apple, I hate to break it to you, but Tesla does appear to have an unassailable lead on full self-driving data too, so maybe it's worth just pivoting towards the infotainment component rather than the actual full self-driving software, just maybe.
And clearly one purpose of autonomous systems is self-driving cars. There are others. And we sort of see it as the mother of all AI projects. It's probably one of the most difficult AI projects actually to work on. And so autonomy is something that's incredibly exciting for us. And but we'll see where it takes us. We're not really saying from a product point of view what we will do.
More mystery from Apple in terms of not revealing specifically the product that they're working on, but being very clear that the autonomous software is critically important.
We're not really saying from a product point of view what we will do. But we are being straightforward that it's a core technology that we view as very important.
So before we wrap up, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of an update from the Wikipedia page regarding the Apple electric car project. The Apple electric car project, codenamed Titan, is an electric car project undergoing research and development by Apple Inc., Apple has yet to openly discuss any of its self-driving research, with around 5,000 employees disclosed on the project as of 2018. In May 2018, Apple reportedly partnered with Volkswagen to produce an autonomous employee shuttle van based on the T6 Transporter commercial vehicle platform. In August 2018, the BBC reported that Apple had 66 road-registered driverless cars, with 111 drivers registered to operate those cars. In 2020, it is believed that Apple is still working on self-driving software as a potential product, e.g. Apple Taxi, instead of actual Apple-branded cars. I believe at this point, the Apple car is no serious threat to Tesla. In fact, I believe Apple have pivoted away from the idea of actually building a car themselves entirely, and instead will focus on delivering autonomous vehicles in small, specific, pre-mapped, geo-fenced areas. So you're not going to be able to get an autonomous Apple vehicle that can drive you anywhere on Earth, but there may be some commonly heavily trafficked routes that they'll be able to nail, giving people the option of driving in an Apple branded car with Apple software and Apple infotainment. No one is catching Tesla at this point in time, so this could be a great strategy for Apple to carve out a little bit of a share of this autonomous market without having to fully solve autonomous driving completely with a general solution, and instead just offering very specific routes to Apple fanboys and fangirls the world over who'll do absolutely anything to get more Apple in their eyes. I mean lives. I'll explain when you're older. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. By the way, shout out to all the Apple fanboys. I ain't hating. Just admit it. You'll do anything. And don't forget, if you're in the US and you'd like 3 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. Open a new account and fund it with $100 and you'll get 3 free stocks, 2 of them valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.